day to you. Safe travels.
Good day to you. Safe
Looking for something
travels.
specific? See you around.
King's honor.
Open for business. See you around. What are you looking for? Have a good one. How are you?
What
See you
can
later.
I do for you?
Hello.
See you later.
Have a good one.
Time is money, friend! Glad I could help.
You need something? Have a good one.
fleeting moments stuck in moonlit streets. They carry me, soft shadows, my company. The night just breathes. It lets me be. Moonlit streets, they carry me.
Hey, what's up, Grumpy? How you doing, man? Yeah, just well, it's late. 3 a.m. Just chilling. Quiet morning in the world of Azeroth. Yeah, it's like I don't I don't have a lot to say when it's 3 a.m., man. I'm usually pretty tired. I'm just like get on here like at 3 a.m. and I'm like, man, I'm tired. Should be in bed, but here I am. You know what I mean? Really need a better weapon, as usual. Every time I play Melee Hunter, I always say the same thing. Man, I really need a better weapon. This feels like I always have shitty weapons. Okay. Always bruised there.
sun, drawing low, forest bone, blood red light, angry sea, light the way for me. Today is not a day for words. This house is not a place to say the only thing I get.
That wolf moves quick, man. My wolf is a very quick wolf. He's like zipping around.
Tunnel dark, secrets stepping through the storm. Frigid tide receding, pull away the grieving, steady
Hey, what's up? El Haisa. I cannot pronounce your name. Eli Hayasa. Eli Hayasa. Hello. Good morning. How's it going, man? Out of mana. I'm out of mana. It's Sky Mantle. 8 intellect, 5 spirit. Inventory space, aren't we? Turtle meat. My pet's stronger. Strong. Strong in the Lord. Man, I'm burning through mana. Let's do some MP5 food we got here. Maverick, what's up, man? No, dude. You didn't see that? Fucking no, I died. It's embarrassing too, Maverick. Because I never die in hardcore. Like, I hardly ever die in hardcore. It's like so rare. I was 57.5. And I was doing the stupid Raging Owl Beast quest in Winter Spring. And that stupid NPC just kept walking up the hill, aggroing mob after mob after mob. And I was fighting like 3 owl beasts, and she aggroed a 4th one. And I would have been fine. I dropped my freezing trap to freeze the 4th one so I could take out the 3 that I was on. And the frickin' mob resisted my freezing trap. So then I had like, I think I killed one of the Raging Owl beasts, so that I had 3 on me at that point, but my pet was about 40% health, and so I pretty much had to kind of, bug out of there and run out of there. And fortunately, my pet was, I just tamed a new pet like the day before, so he was really weak. He didn't, which is my mistake. I probably shouldn't have been doing quests that were that difficult with a pet that had no ranks of stamina whatsoever, and only like 2 ranks of armor. So he's really squishy. And I was trying to run out, but unfortunately in that quest, there's a little, you run down a hill, and there's the walls of the hill are really high, so you have to run past mobs to get out of it's kind of like a little valley. You have to run past these mobs to get out of the valley to reset the fight. And when I was trying to run past those mobs, I was gonna aggro some, and I did. And it just was a clusterfuck, basically. I ended up getting killed. It was quite embarrassing, actually. Because like I said, I don't die in hardcore very often. And it really made me mad because I don't care about dying so much, but what made me mad was that was a melee only hunter. I mean, I'd worked really hard on leveling that character from 1. Like, she had never shot an arrow, never shot a crossbow, never shot a gun. She was pure melee, you know what I mean? It's tough to level hardcore self-found pure melee hunter all the way to 60. Because you're like up in the mob's faces constantly. You're not shooting at range. That's what makes it a little bit more challenging. Just because when the shit hits the fan, you're right in the thick of combat, But so it was really disappointing. But I already had this other hybrid melee hunter here that was like 36. So I just fell back to this and said, you know what? It pissed me off, man. I was like, I'm just gonna come back and level this one to 60. The difference with this one is this one's not pure melee. She's pretty much melee. She basically uses Serpent Sting. So she pretty much does all melee damage, except she also uses Serpent Sting. But yeah, it was just disappointing because I was like so close. I'd never died past like level 30s. I think the highest I'd ever died on hardcore before that was like 30 something, like 37 or something. Like normally when you get past like 35, you pretty much have all your abilities. Like your toolkits, a lot of your toolkit main abilities are there. So anyways, I've never died that high before, so it kind of sucked. It sucked. But here we go again. We go again. This character's just blowing through mana so fast because of the traps, I guess. She's just blowing through her mana quick. Maybe I don't have. Maybe my mana pool is just too low. That's probably what it is. What's my intellect? It's probably garbage, right? Let's see, intellect. Yeah, 68. Well, I mean, it could be worse. Need to make some more. See. Make some more elixirs of wisdom, maybe. That's only 6. Need to keep leveling up alchemy. I haven't. Shaman and warlocks are the 2 classes that I've never leveled to 60. Well, that's not true. I've leveled shamans and warlocks to 60 before in retail WoW, like in much later versions of WoW. But in vanilla WoW, I've never leveled a shaman or a warlock to 60. I don't. It's just I don't enjoy. I mean, the classes always seem like so fun on the surface, you know. And I'll play them, and I always have fun like for like 20 levels, and then after that, I tend to get bored with them. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I would say that out of the shaman and the warlock, though, I like the shaman a lot more than the warlock. I enjoy shamans a lot more than I enjoy warlocks. And I do have a hardcore. I'm pretty sure shaman. Yeah, shaman, like horde shaman. Well, I mean, she has to be horde, obviously, but. And I can tell you, if you look at my, like once this mob dies here. Like here, if you go to my, if you go to my weak ores, you'll see that I have shaman weak ores. Here, Frostbrand, Flame Tongue. You know, so I have weak ores that track some of my shaman buffs. It looks really cool too. Let's see if I can. I think, like, if this character were to die, you know, God forbid this character died, shaman would be kind of fun. I don't know why. I think the totems are what maybe bothers me maybe a little bit. Totems are fun and not fun all at the same time. You know, they're really cool on the surface, but sometimes they start. Oh, sorry. Sometimes they start to just become a little bit annoying. But shamans are cool. I mean, shamans, and you would think I would love shamans because one of my favorite classes, if not my favorite class in classic WoW, is probably the paladin, right? Paladins and hunters have always been my favorite, and you know, the shaman's kind of the counterpart to the paladin. Let's see. I know I've got a shaman, but it might not. Let's see if it's on Bloodsoul. It might be on Bloodsoul, but maybe it's not hardcore. It's probably Deviant Delight. I bet this is where my shaman is. This isn't. Let's see. Yeah. See, there's my level 22 shaman. And if you go into, I just wanted to show you like how cool the weak ores are on this character. If I remember how to play this guy, if I remember how to play this shaman. It's been a long time since I played this character. Yeah, you can see, of course, my add-ons are all wonky, but you can see I've got these buffs down here. But I don't even remember what my keybinds are.
Strength and honor.
Okay, let's see. Totems. But what are my buffs, though? All these are all totems. You have so many totems, it's crazy, man. Where's my buff set, though? Man, you have so many totems. Look at how many totems there are. You can sit here and drop totems like all day long. What's this? Oh, Ancestral Spirit. These. Another totem. So many totems. Anyways. Why don't I see? Here we go. Here's the weapon. I just don't see my. I don't see my Frostbrand, and I see my buffs. It's just blowing my mind that I should have a keybind for these, and I don't see where they are. I don't see my bars anywhere. Anyways, whatever. But yeah, I do like shamans. I think they're pretty cool. But I've never done one to 60, so it's definitely something I maybe like to try sometime to do again. But one thing at a time, man. I gotta get this damn 100 to 60. But I was doing that shaman as like a tank. I was actually tanking on that shaman, doing like wailing cameras and stuff, which is really cool. Dealing with a few too many respawn issues here. I can't read guild chat. I don't know what it is with these hunters, man. We keep getting all these hunters in the guild. They keep trying to tell everybody that they need to have like an owl pet. Like, you have to have an owl, you know? And I'm just like, ugh. Use the pet that makes you have the most fun in the game. Don't think that because an owl debuffs the enemy, it's like, oh, it's gonna give you so much more survivability. I mean, yeah, it certainly is gonna help your survivability, but you know, you just use the pet that you enjoy the most. Don't sit here and let people tell you that you have to use this pet over that. That takes away the fun of the game, man. In fact, I encourage hunters to try every pet. You know, try every pet. Try a turtle. Try a wolf. Try an owl. Try a kitty. I mean, just try them all. See which ones you like. Footpad. We got 3. This quest is always a pain in the ass. In fact, I rarely ever do this quest because mobs are so tightly grouped together here. You always end up fighting. Here, let's try to kill this one. Man, they're still coming. There we go. Oh. Nail gloves, huh? Of course, it's the caster. The caster. Always the caster. Oh, you're gonna polymorph me. We're gonna get the thief here, but you're gonna die pretty soon. The hell, how long is this polymorph? It's a very long poly. Yes, even more mobs are coming. About now we gotta go get the loot this stuff before they respawn. This quest is always such a pain in the ass. I'm not even gonna get full mana. Let's go. I think we're still gonna aggro this one. Maybe not. Oh no, inventory's full. No, 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 no. Shit, of course. Let's go and pull this one out. Okay, so we got all that. Cool. We're out of here. You also have to be careful in this area because one, there's horde guards down here, but also there's the world dragon boss flies through here. So, and actually, I have been killed by that on hardcore. Even one of the few hardcore deaths I did have in the past 4 or 5 years was to that stupid dragon because I was up on the hill here and he came up behind me, like snuck up behind me, and I didn't have the add-on. There's an add-on you can have that kind of alerts you when dangerous elites are nearby, and I didn't have. This is probably like 6 years ago or something. I didn't have that. I didn't even know about the add-on, I think, at the time, or I just didn't have it installed, and so I wasn't notified that he was sneaking up behind me, and I was in the middle of combat, and all of a sudden, I turn around, there's this big-ass dragon sitting right on top of my head. I was like, oh, shit. And I died. I almost lived. It was close.
I got what you need.
You don't have what I need. Really? So we need to have, like, alchemy recipe, but it doesn't.
Well met. For the Alliance, go with honor, friend. Light bless you. Greetings. Be careful.
You need something? For the Alliance. Be careful.
What can I do for you? Light bless you. For the Alliance, go with honor, friend. Be careful. Go with honor, friend.
let's go knock this quest out. I do feel like I feel like I'm leveling so slowly. But I remember the only hunter, when she died, she was like 11 and a half days played time probably. This character's only what, 3 days? 3 days, well, getting close to 4 days played. But yeah, I need to find a better way to level on this character, like more quests, an area with a few more quests. Maybe we'll do this TV maybe. I don't know. I've never liked STV. Like 38 to like 42 is always kind of a shitty level range, to be honest. I'd say the one thing about classic WoW that sometimes kind of sucks is the questing is a little bit disjointed. But in a way, I think that's the beauty. It's also the beauty of vanilla WoW, because it forces you to do stuff like dungeons, and to think about other ways to level other than just doing quests. Because dungeon, getting moving around the world, going to different zones, picking up different quests for dungeons, because all the dungeon quests aren't always going to be picked up in one area. So a lot of times you have to run around the world and do different quests that chain into other quests, and that quest will give you a quest for like Scarlet Monastery, and then you go to a different zone and pick up another quest for Scarlet Monastery. You know what I mean? You're kind of like running all over the place. But that's what makes the world feel more alive in a way. Heckler's Whisker Group, we definitely need that. A lot of MMOs just force feed you a shit ton of quests in the exact same zone. Kind of like Guild Wars 2 does, which I love Guild Wars 2, but it does kind of fall victim to that to a certain degree. That's got like 3 mobs chasing him. Ah. I have this sick appreciation for gray gear because when I was leveling my gray gear warrior, it was so hard to get gray gear to drop off mobs. It was like ridiculously difficult. So now when gray gear drops, I have like this appreciation for it. I'm like, oh, look at that gray item. As if it's like really cool because it is, right? When you're leveling a warrior, you can only use gray gear. It's like getting a gray drop is like amazing. And it'd be like me getting a blue drop. Well, on this character, yeah. I mean, on this character, I don't have any restrictions for gear, so this character can use anything that drops. My other hunter, that was not the case. Like for like 52 levels, you could only get weapons that came from treasure chests and crates and shit, which made it extremely difficult. Which is again why I was so frustrated that she died, because I was so close. I was like, it would have been just a nice little, you know, feather in my cap, so to speak. We're like, okay, I did that, you know, knock that challenge off my list, you know what I mean? You know what? I wonder if I've even hit the trainer. I feel like I haven't hit the trainer in a while. Okay, no, we get Raptor Strike at 40. So we do have some stuff, but I don't think it's anything. I think we do have we might have great stamina, though. Seems to say that great stamina is available. Most of this other stuff we can't use, but at 40 we're going to get Raptor Strike. We don't get upgraded explosive until 44. We don't get upgraded immolation until 46. Man, that hurts. I guess only humans can jump through that. Smaller people. I'm too tall.
Another day gone, seems I just arrived. All so close, but low on time. Move so far, was so near. Carry the weight of leaving here.
I can hear a stealther, but I can't see him. There he is. Hey, Borkut, how's it going, man? I'm tired, but then I'm always tired. But thank you for asking. I'm doing okay. I got my new guitar yesterday. I bought a new guitar off Reverb, and it came all the way from the Netherlands to me here in the United States, and it was a fantastic guitar, and I really enjoyed playing that for about an hour, and I guess an hour and a half today. I played that guitar. That was cool. Here, I'll show you the pictures. Here's some of the pictures of the guitar. Doing some. So it's actually pretty cool. It's actually a Squire. The cool thing is like, I have so many Fender guitars. Like I've got tons of Fender guitars. Like I've got Telecaster's my favorite. I mean, I've got like probably like 7 or 8 Telecasters, and I have, $1,000. I've had like $1,000 Telecasters, $2,000 Telecasters, like Fender ones, right? But I have recently discovered the Chinese-made Squire Telecasters from a specific plant, which is called the Chinese Grand Reward Factory. They were manufactured between the years of 2008 and around 2012, 2013 in this specific Chinese factory, and they were the Squire Classic Vibe series. And they're so high quality, like they're so well made. They're actually better. They're actually higher quality than some of the like Mexican made and even some of the American made Fenders. It's just unbelievable, and I've got 2 of them now. This is one of the ones. This one was manufactured in 2013 from the Grand Reward Factory in China, and it's a Squire Telecaster custom. Actually, it's not really a custom. I think he listed it on the listing as a custom, but a custom typically has a different pickup configuration, if I remember correctly. Custom, I think, usually has a humbucker and the bridge pickup, and this one does not have that. So it's really just a Telecaster with a kind of more of a unique paint job because it's got the matching headstock. It's like the cream alpine white paint job with the matching headstock. Oh yeah, I like painting too. I'm big into art, so I love painting, drawing. But I have a lot of hobbies, I guess. I like painting, drawing, art. I like music. I like guitar playing. I like reading. I like long walks on the beach. I'm kidding. Long walks on the beach. Yes. Yes, Morpheus. Yes, we like long walks on the beach. Yes. But yeah, I do love art. My family's artists. Like most of my family. Like my mother was a graphic artist. My sister's is an artist, and she's one of those rare artists that makes money, a lot of her money just on her own artwork. You know what I mean? She paints and sells her own artwork. But my brother, though, my brother who died, quite a while ago, he was the best artist I'd ever seen personally. Like he was the best artist I ever knew. Like this, he could paint like Dolly, draw like Dolly. He was just incredibly talented. But he was a drug addict though, and he had a lot of like a lot of those really amazing artists. He had a lot of demons. You know what I mean? He was also a great sculptor. He was a really good sculptor too. I think so. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. You only have one life to live. Just do whatever you try. Everything that you ever dreamed you might want to do, and try it, man. Give it all a go. Don't like limit yourself. And always follow your dreams if you have any. Thanks, more cute. I appreciate it. He died a long time ago. Probably like, I don't know, 20 years ago. He was like 43 maybe at the time when he died, when he passed away. He was my oldest brother. And then my other brother died, which was a much more sad thing because he died in a fire. And that was about, I don't know. That was just a couple years after I had 2 brothers. I had my 2 brothers and a father that all passed away in a pretty short time frame. I think that's probably why I became quite the drinker. Like back in the day, I was a big drinker. I think that's partly why. dealing with all the kind of the stress or the pain of losing my two brothers and a father in a very short amount of time, you know. I haven't done any art lately though. I like to draft. Oh, this quest is done. I like to sketch a lot. I don't know if I have any images of my stupid sketches. Like I'm a pretty good artist, but I just don't do it enough, you know? Like I don't spend enough time doing it. I did when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I was always drawing. Like I was always drawing. See if I can find my old Discord server. I have a really old Discord server. Like from here, like way back in the day. Let's see. Discord server. Oh man, this is my old Discord server. It's kind of cool because I have pictures of my cats when they were a lot younger on here. I didn't realize. I didn't realize that. This is my Discord server, Knights of Faith. I used to run a guild called Knights of Faith. Like this is a while ago. Look at my 3 cats. Wow, I should send these to my wife. She'd like these. Oh my god, look how this cat is so skinny. He's so fat now. Look at this little butterball. Whoops. I didn't realize that was a voice channel. I do that all the time when I'm going through Discord. I'll click on something, think it's, oh, general chat or something. It's actually a voice channel. I was wondering if I had some old images. Look at these. These are from, look, these are 2019. So these images are from, this is like, when I saw this guy, I'm like, man, this is like a high elf classic WoW. But these are from when Classic first came out. You know, when Classic WoW was released. You know, back in 2019. Yeah. Calf Killer. Old. I was just using the standard Blizzard UI. Oh, Volia. Holy shit. This goes way back. First ever. This is a screenshot I took back in 2005 or 2004, I think. This is the first ever Christmas event in Vanilla WoW, and this was me on Doomhammer on my first hunter I ever created in World of Warcraft named Shurl, and throwing a snowball for the first time. This is me doing the good old AoE protection paladin grind. Yeah, I don't see any. What I'm looking for, I don't think I'm gonna find quickly. So okay, whatever. It's always easy to get distracted when I look at those old images, man. That he did. Hey, what's up, Frey? Yeah, yeah, definitely look like an old model for sure, right? See if we can get a few more frostbite or frost, whatever it's called. Winter's bite, sorry. Winter's bite herbs. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I actually streamed it. I was actually streaming live when they did the announcement. I'm super stoked for. I mean, I was at first like I was a little worried about Guild Wars 3 because they kept talking about like momentum and movement and parkour-esque travel around the world. I'm like, this is great. Sure, it's nice to have nice movement of ways to traverse the world, but I think this shouldn't be the cornerstone of your MMO. Like cornerstone MMO should be more about world building and community and I don't know, progression or something. But then I started to realize that it reminded me of Terra. Like when Terra first came out, like the first thing in the very, very early advertisement things about Terra was always action combat, true action combat, Terra, true action combat. I mean, that was a big selling point. Was this idea of this true action combat in an MMO, and Terra didn't disappoint. And this not in my mind. The combat was fantastic, right? It was true action combat because they had real hitboxes. And, you had to aim certain abilities, So it was really cool. So Guild Wars 3 reminds me of that a little bit. They're trying to tout this what they're calling like momentum or movement-based systems that not only affect your traversal in the world, they also affect your combat. I don't know if you guys ever remember, but in the original Ion, like it was Ion 1, when you were moving forward, when you swung your sword, you actually did more damage than when you were moving backwards. When you're moving backwards, you actually had a penalty to damage because you're moving backwards. So if you're swinging your sword while backing up, you actually had a slight, penalty, damage debuff, basically. So it's just interesting that they're definitely trying to be a little bit more I always have a hard time saying that word. Innovative, innovative, in the way that they want to make this movement of like traversal through the world not only work for movement, like walking and running up and down hills, but also to be applied into combat. So they have a thing called momentum. So if you're like running down a hill, you're probably going to build up momentum. So like if I'm running down this hill, I'm probably going to build some momentum, which means then if I jump, I'm probably going to jump a lot further, for example. Or if I'm running up the other side of another hill, I'm going to be able to climb up higher. And we saw that in the trailer, the person kind of wall climbing. So I think I know they're actually incorporating those movement aspects into the combat system. So that's going to be really interesting. I don't know if that means we're going to have some sort of like some sort of like flipping or jumping or dying. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's interesting. So yeah, the funny part about Dragonflight Frey was like that was the big selling point. That was their biggest selling point of Dragonflight was the mount system. And what was so funny about it was just ripped off from Guild Wars. It was just the Guild Wars 2 mount system. That's all it was. They looked at Guild Wars 2, which has always pretty much been the best mounts in any MMO. The fact that it has real physics, and they basically just stripped it off and threw it in WoW and said, "Hey, here's what we got," But I mean, it worked. Of course, it was great. But that's because in Guild Wars 2, flying mounts are like that. They're really good. It's it's real physics.
Talk to me.
Healing. I don't really want to waste. Oh, we need to get some large fangs so we can make some of these potions. I was hoping there'd be some
Right back.
other stuff on here, but no. Oh, I remember that. I remember the Argent tournament. Yeah, those were funny. I remember that. Yeah, that's true. Strangle kelp. Why don't I have more strangle kelp? Man, it feels like I leveled from like 36 to 38 really quickly, but now from 38 to 39, it just feels like it's taking forever. I think it's because I'm running a lot. I'm spending a lot of time just running around. Going up to do these quests here it's a long run from South Shore, so it's kind of like feels bad, man. Well, the big goal right now, I think, is to get to Desolus and get down the Scarlet Path completed, so we can pick up, so we can get ready to do a full Scarlet Monastery clear, so we can get the Sword of Omen, which unfortunately is only a 2.2 attack speed weapon, I think, which sucks. Because we really want slow main hand, weapons for melee hunter. But still, it'll be better than my current weapon. I think it's like 30 DPS per second. This is like, what, like 17? So it'd be like massive upgrade. Just checking for any winner's bite, because part of the melee hunter toolkit that I like to roll with is frost oil. More frost oil, the better. Look at those graphics. Look at those, man. Look at that texture. That's top tier right there. Yeah, but I think Guild Wars 3, I mean, I love ArenaNet. I think ArenaNet, I don't know if you guys watched the update video from ArenaNet where they talked about the future of Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 and, and Guild Wars 3. It was just amazing. Like Guild Wars 3 is going to be free to play. Can you believe that? Can you believe an MMO as big as Guild Wars 3 that's been in development for already for 3 or 4 years, that it's going to be free to play? That's crazy. But yeah, I'm super excited for Guild Wars 3. I think it's gonna be really fun. Be my best friend now? He must be. I think my mount just became best friend. Yep, he just did. He just did. Best friend. Nice. Hey, Strape, good day, man. How you doing, man? It's early. I gotta get to bed pretty soon. Turn this quest in, then. It was for the nerds? Yeah. Well, I guess I'm a nerd then.
Or the Alliance.
Nerd experience. Yeah. It gives me some money. At least doing those quests gave me some money. to 20 gold, which is, you know, we gotta get to 100 gold, I guess, to get our mount, don't we? Let's go to Ironforge, 'cause I think I got,
Light be with you.
I think
Be
I
careful.
have a quest in Ironforge to pick up or to complete. I also need, yeah, it's gonna be a while until I get my mount. I also need to train herbalism past 225, which is gonna cost me, I think, 5 gold or something ridiculous. You up since 4 a.m. Shyelf, I got my guitar from the Netherlands today, or I guess yesterday. That was some pretty impressive shipping. Having a guitar shipped from the Netherlands, and I think I ordered it, like, I think it got to me, I think 4 days or something, maybe even faster. It was insane how fast it showed up. I couldn't believe it. I know I ordered it on the weekend. No, it couldn't have been the weekend. Let's see. Actually, I'll be able to tell. I ordered the guitar on June 3rd. Oh, wow. Was it really 6 days ago? Man, time flies, dude. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it did take 6 days to get here from the Netherlands. Still, though, not bad. Yeah, no, it was 6 days. Actually, not 6 days, because today's the 9th. It arrived yesterday, which was the 8th. So it was 5 days. It took 5 days to get here. But not too bad coming from the Netherlands to the United States. And the funny part was, I didn't have to pay. I didn't pay a tariff. I didn't pay a tariff either. Like, I did some research and it said that the tariff. Hold on a second. Someone's talking Melee Hunter. But yeah, I was anticipating. Like, I did some research into the tariffs, and it said that the shipper may charge you a tariff. So the person who's, like, it was FedEx basically. Like, FedEx may actually show up at your door and say, "Hey, you owe a tariff." That was one of the things that, like, when I looked it up, it said that might happen. So I was all prepared to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to pay, like, maybe an additional fee," but I didn't. I didn't have to pay any tariff. So. Anyways, it's a great guitar though. I'm actually, it's fantastic. The thing was, like, for a guitar that was made in 2013, it looks almost brand new. All right, so I believe there is a quest here somewhere at Hall of Explorers. I don't even know what this quest is. Let's find out. I just remember reading some quest and like, "Hey, go to Ironforge." I'm like, okay. It is Letter to Stormpike.
What's on your mind?
Oh, someone told me to come talk to you. Bring the decrypted letter to Magistrate South. Oh, now we gotta go back to South Shore. Come on. Lost Dwarves, Alderman.
Be good.
Iron Bandit wants you. Speak with somebody at Lockmodan now.
See you soon. Keep your feet on the ground.
Belsamar.
How
See
are
you
you?
soon.
Ooh, we want this one. This is
Off with ya.
Scarlet Monastery. We definitely want that one. Ooh. I don't know, can you?
Can I help you?
Ooh, free action potion. What level is it? 150. Blackmouth oil strong kelp. Nah. Eh. I guess we'll grab it. What the hell? We're gonna need this one too at some point. Might as well grab it. Might as well grab it. He waved at you? Ooh. It's been actually pretty cool here in Florida. Like the last few days, like not it hasn't been as hot. I think I think yesterday though. I think Sunday, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Sunday was pretty hot, but I think it was like Friday or Saturday was like it's like in the 80s or something, which we'd been like up in the 90s for a while. But it was like down around like 85, which man, if in Florida if it's 85 without much humidity, that feels like ridiculous. It feels like cold, you know.
What's on your mind?
We should have recipe in here. Oh, 200? What the hell's my alchemy at? 196. What can we make? Anything? Nature's protection. Why don't I have any? Man, I need to do some fishing. The easiest way to get strangle kelp is fishing. Normally I have tons of strangle kelp, but I haven't been doing. I'm kind of averse to fishing because I did so much damn fishing on my other hunter. You know, I'm kind of like suffering from fishing whiplash. You really don't need all this silk cloth either.
Off with you.
Superior defense, 265. We should go over to Yes Darnassus and level up our herbalism skill. Okay, come on. We had 20 gold, now we're going to be all the way down to like 15 gold here pretty soon or less. 14 gold. I'm just making this because I think it's worth more money to craft. 1.5. Yeah, see. Yeah. Makes more. You make more money if you craft the heavy silk and then sell it. Which is what we're gonna do. Alright, first aid's almost maxed too.
Here there.
Here we go. Did have some elixirs of wisdom. Right now. What's the best place to fish for strangle kelp right now?
How are you?
Um,
Keep your feet on the ground.
my fishing skill at? Maybe 5. Probably fishing in Theramore Island, maybe. What's the other good spot? I mean, really, Stone Talon Peak would be decent for strangle kelp. Maybe we'll do a little bit of fishing before I go to bed. But I don't have much time. I definitely want to get to bed by 5, so it gives me 32 minutes. I'm not sure if we can get there and do much fishing in 32 minutes. Make kelp soup. Oh man, you had to say soup. Now I'm getting hungry. And this guild chat is just in the gutter, man. It's terrible. Guild chat early in the morning is always just awful because it's always like just bad. Yeah, but I think Guild Wars 3 is should be a really fun game. The one thing that they are doing with Guild Wars 3, which I'm not really happy about, is they pretty much, I think, confirmed horizontal progression once again. And, I mean, horizontal progression is good, but whenever they say horizontal progression in Guild Wars, I'm always concerned that I just feel like they're not going to have the Holy Trinity. We're not going to have, like, the healer DPS tank, which is, I think, is a big miss, I love the Holy Trinity. I do. I think the Holy Trinity is what makes MMOs feel like a tabletop RPG. Because when I play an MMO, I want it to feel like I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's just the way I am. It's like that's what I want it to feel like. Did Guild Wars? I never played Guild Wars that much. But I don't think did Guild Wars not have the Holy Trinity either. Guild Wars 2 definitely did not have the Holy Trinity. But to me, like, it's just you need the Holy Trinity, like, to really. If you want to do like PvE, like dungeons and stuff, like the Holy Trinity makes it work so much better, in my opinion. It gives you so much. It gives you class identity. It's like you're a healer or you're a DPS or you're a tank. I mean, you have a specific job to do, right? People like and because you have a specific job to do, you're the best person at that specific job, and because you're the best person at that specific job, you are in demand, right? People are like, we need a healer, we need a specific type of DPS. What I really like about Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is Pantheon Rise of the Fallen has a heavy emphasis on CC, as a role, right? So I think the groups in Pantheon are up to 6 people, and they, one of the roles in your group will be like a CC class, someone who can do a lot of CC, because you need to be able to CC boss mechanics, like interrupt like spells and stuff like that, and I think that's really cool. So, private server, oh man, most of the good private servers are gone, man. It depends what are you looking for in a private server? Are you looking for like a vanilla private server? I mean, it depends on what type of private server. Yeah, Guild Wars, yeah, I agree. Well, I never did a lot of PvE. Like, most of my experience in Guild Wars 2 was just me playing the game solo. And I think the game's really good. And then PvP. I did a lot of PvP in Guild Wars 2. Just good population. I mean, it's so hard to recommend. There just aren't. I don't really know of any. It's hard to recommend private servers right now because there aren't any really good ones. At least good ones in the way that I like private servers. You know what I mean? But I mean, really, if you're looking for a World of Warcraft private server, I would still say probably Ascension. Ascension WoW is probably going to be decent. And I think even Warmane got shut down, didn't it? Or Yeah, yeah. Bronzebeard would be the one I'd recommend. Ascension WoW Bronzebeard. That would be the one that I'd kind of recommend. I don't know how many people are playing it though. I don't know how many people are playing it though, Borku. Like when it came out, it was very popular, and there was a lot of players. But I don't even know if I have the Ascension installer. I think I do actually. Ascension SHPR. Yeah, I don't even know how to. I don't, mine's not set up for. I don't even know if I have to install Bronzebeard separately. It's been so long since I played Bronzebeard, but if Bronzebeard has a good population, I would recommend that server because I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, when people ask me for private server, I would have always recommended like Turtle WoW or like Warmane, but Turtle WoW's gone, and I don't even know if Warmane's around anymore. From what I from what I heard, I thought they were shutting down. So it looks like Warmane's still going, so you could always play Warmane. Yeah, but I thought I heard that Warmane was getting shut down. Is Warmane WoW getting shut down? Says yes, Worm is officially shutting down after opening for over a decade with large World Cup private servers. The project announced it's ending operations on June 12th. January, March, April, May, June. So Warmane's shutting down in like 3 days. Says the decision comes amid a massive wave of private service closures. Says recently Blizzard successfully took action against other large servers like Troll. Rather than face forced, chaotic legal battle, they could result in subpoenaed records of devastating consequences. The Warman staff made a decision to voluntarily shut down the project. So it looks like, yeah, Warman's getting shut down in a couple days. Yeah, Warmane's not my favorite. I mean, I played on it here and there, but it was never my preferred private server, you know. The thing with Ascension WoW, Borkut, is Ascension WoW is different. It's custom. It's not straight vanilla WoW, so it's completely different. But it's cool. I think it's pretty fun. I played Bronzebeard. I played Ascension Bronzebeard, and I had fun playing it. I thought it was pretty fun. Oh, people were upset about Turtle WoW. Really? Were they like jealous or something? When Turtle WoW has always been the best vanilla project private server for. I mean, it's just not even close, right? And I played Turtle WoW on and off for years and years.
Hello. Goddess watch over you.
I don't know what's going on with Ascension WoW. It's like Ascension WoW has some sort of deal with Blizzard or something. There's because they've been going for a long time, and the thing that's so surprising about Ascension WoW not getting shut down is Ascension WoW is one of the most egregiously monetized private servers that there is. I mean, they sell tons of stuff, and they make a ton of money, right? You go to the shop. Here's Bronzebeard. Look at all the stuff they sell. I mean, dude, look at all the shit they sell. And this is all for, this is all real money. I mean, you're spending real money to buy this stuff, right? Look at this. I'm still scrolling. This is insane. No private server sells this, that I know of, sells this much stuff, right? I don't know. It looked like, I mean, that was just Google telling me that. So, I mean, it sounds pretty real. Sounds like they're shutting down. We could probably just look on YouTube. Who is and who is not shutting down? news shutting down. Potentially terrible news leaked.
Please excuse my voice, I'm rather ill at the moment, but I've just seen a post on Reddit talking about a potential leak from an internal Discord, talking about Warmane being shut down, potentially. I mean, I don't know if it's a real leak, but good lord, man. I was literally just in the middle of making a video about what Warmane, literally the open office document is open right here. Which realm should you play on? Ice Crown and Ixia versus Lordaeron. Ugh.
A sad day for the biggest World of Warcraft private service of the past few years, and that's Stormforge. And unfortunately, it's April 17th. It's not.
Yeah, they did close down. Yeah, Stormforge got shut down too. So Stormforge is one of the bigger private servers, and it was shut down. So Stormforge, Turtle WoW, but I don't know about Warmane. I'm gonna guess it's probably shutting down, but I can't seem to find anything. Yeah, so I don't know. All right, let's go spend some money. We're gonna hopefully level up our herbalism skill. I believe we can do to the highest level here. I believe. Hopefully, I'm correct. Although I don't relish spending like 5 gold or whatever it is.
The loon be with you.
4.5 gold. Ouch. That hurts, doesn't it? I think I only played in Stormforge like once, and I think it was Mist of Pandaria. Yep. I don't like Mist of Pandaria expansion as far as I hated I did not like the panda thing at all. I thought it was like terrible. Like who the hell wants to play a panda? I mean, maybe girls do. I don't know. I just thought it was stupid. But I will say that the PvP in Mist of Pandaria was really good. It was very balanced, and all the zones in Mist of Pandaria I thought were well constructed, even though I don't really go for the Oriental aesthetic at all. In fact, I very much dislike. I don't know why, but I don't like the Oriental aesthetic. I like fantasy. I like high fantasy. So, but the zones were good. They were well constructed, and I 100% will give it that.
Hello.
All right, superior mana potion. What is this? Sungrass and blind. I'm gonna need this too. Do I not have this one already? Kind of worried about buying this. That I might have already bought it before. Let's just go to my bank real quick. I don't want to buy it if I already have it. Are you just bored of quests? I mean, I didn't see it in the dungeon. Well, on the other, I don't really do dungeons a lot when I'm doing hardcore, just because I have a mistrust of other players. I don't always trust players that I don't know. So but it depends on depends on what the dungeons are. Like I ran full Scarlet Master on this character pretty much yesterday, I think, and so it just depends on what it is. But I kind of like to do my own thing. Frost oil. And there, so we have superior defense and frost oil. We don't have the mana one. But yeah, I do get bored doing quests. Oh my god, yes. I 100% bored. In fact, I hate doing quests. The problem is in vanilla WoW, when you're leveling, the fastest way to level is to do the quests. And dungeons as well. But especially dungeons when you have the quests for the dungeons. But yeah, I completely get sick of doing quests. Like honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty bored playing, WoW right now. Oh, that GTA V. What's up, little? I'm kind of bored of WoW right now at the moment.
Elune be with you. Goddess watch over.
How may I help? Goddess.
But it's just because I played I played this version, so long. Oh, what do you mean, little? You worried about me just quitting because I'm bored? It happens, dude. It does happen. Where I guess I just get bored of Get bored of it because I played it so much, you know. Should we do the greater defense or should we hold off and save our gold thorn for agility? Probably should hold off and save it for agility. But man, look, I had 20 gold a minute ago and I'm down to what, 13 gold? But I think, well, it's just really unfortunate that my hunter died. I'd be like 60 right now, pretty much. We wouldn't even be talking about me being bored playing, you know, grinding through these quests because I'd already be 60. But it is what it is. We've got, no, I don't do raids. I'm not a raider. I don't really do raids. I've never been much. I mean, I've raided way back in like, you know, Vanilla WoW and Burning Crusade, and that was about it. Once I got to Wrath of the Lich King, I pretty much stopped raiding. I kind of transitioned to being more of a PvPer at that point. I did a ton of PvP in Burning Crusade. Like, I did, you know, thousands of arena matches probably, TVC. Usually if I reach 60, I love doing the dungeons though. Like I love doing 60 dungeons. Like I love doing all the pre-raid, like getting the pre-raid bis. Yeah, I love doing that stuff. I love getting the tier 0.5 set, you know, and then doing the upgrades to those items as well is really fun. But yeah, the actual raids, I'm like, it's like funny. I do all the stuff to get ready for the raids, but then I don't do the raids. So, but I'm looking forward to Guild Wars 3. I think that's going to be. Yeah, I'm just looking for. I've been this way for years. Like I've been looking forward to the next big MMO for the past 10 years, and I've played every potential, you know, WoW killer or every potential MMO that's come out where they claim it's going to be the next big thing. I've played them all, and of course, none of them stuck. You know, none of them were the next big thing. You know, I've gone and played Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, and Elder Scrolls Online so many times I can't even count. You know, usually when I get bored with WoW, I always go off and, you know, I'm forced to go off and play something else. The problem is I played Guild Wars 2 and Elder Scrolls and Final Fantasy 14 enough to know that I kind of don't, you know, I've gotten my enjoyment out of those games, but I got to a point in those games where I didn't really want to play them anymore. But that's where Guild Wars 3, you know, comes in. I mean, Guild Wars 3 would be a new game, and it's in Unreal Engine 5, so, and you know, so that's going to be really interesting. But we got a ways to go. Sorry, we got a ways to go before that comes out. You know, I think that it could actually come out at the end of 2027, but it just depends on how Guild Wars 2. Did I say Guild Wars 2? I can't talk. I'm tired. It just depends on how Guild Wars 2 like beta schedule works. I mean, when they talk about beta, I think one of the streamers I was watching was talking about that. Like Guild Wars 2, when they're talking about doing betas, it's not like alpha beta. You know, what I mean, their betas are just polishing out. The game's pretty much done at that point. So, you know how like some companies will do a beta, and it, like if you looked at Chrono Odyssey, they did a beta, got feedback, and then went back to the drawing board and said, well, we still got a lot of work to do. You know. Because Chrono Odyssey, when they had that first beta, they were talking about the game coming out in like at the end of last year. It was supposed to come out in December, I believe, and the beta was like, you know, I don't know, like 4 months before then or something. It's been has it been like an almost a year since I beta tested Chrono Odyssey? It's been a long time. But Chrono Odyssey, I think, is going to be a good game when it does come out, because I enjoyed Chrono Odyssey in the state it was in. And which was a pretty bad state, but even in that state, I enjoyed it. Do we have? Yeah, here. This is 11 months ago, right? See if we can get some combat action. Here we go.
Just send him on his way.
Of course, it's going to crash my wire. Hold on a second. Ooh. Nice. You can feel the impact though. And one thing, just watching this me playing Chrono Odyssey here, you can see the impact. Like you can, like when mobs hit you, you feel it because there's really good sound effects, and you can see when I'm hitting mobs, they have good stagger animations, so they convey the impact of my weapons hitting them. Some pretty good death animations too. Oh, I just revived that person. That person got killed, and I revived them. Wow. I didn't know I could do that. I forgot I could revive other people.
Ah, you.
That person said thank you, and I said no problem. Kind of like Diablo, you know, where you can break all the boxes, or like Skyrim, you know. And that's very New World. You like, you know how New World they always have the crates and stuff around that you can loot. And actually, this game stole like there's a crate here that looks very much like New World. This game stole so much from New World, like a ton, which is not a bad thing because I think New World has some pretty good systems. Even the UI kind of feels like, you know, actually the UI is very close to New World, and the gear progressions is straight out of New World. So Chrono Odyssey was, I loved the combat. The combat system in Chrono Odyssey, I just loved it. I thought it was great. And the world, I liked the art style. I thought was really good, but they needed a lot of work. Like there was a lot of problems with lighting, and there was a lot of issues with it. But the art itself was good. They just needed to fix all the lighting issues and some of the texture issues and stuff. You could just hear me clicking all the time trying to loot. Makes this failed. Some chests you can't open for some reason. I was inspecting the dead corpse. The dead horse. See if there's any big fights. You can, and the other thing you could do is kill other players. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna try to kill these players. See how I hit that player? Yeah, so they had these barrels that you could like kill other players. You can hear I'm like giggling with glee here after I do this. Watch this. I kind of lost it. Anyways, whatever. But you can like kill other players. It's kind of funny. Here it is. This is what I'm gonna try to kill these players. And the one person realizes what I'm doing. They run. Watch. They take off. Boom. And of course, all the berries and stuff here you can use for crafting. I think pretty sure it's all usable for the crafting. Again, New World supply crate, basically. There you see the lighting, how the lighting changed right there, and it was really weird. Look at the skinning. Like stabbing that corpse and all this blood's coming out. Oh, nice crosscut. I performed two really good. Yeah, I performed two really good moves there. It's hard to tell if you haven't played the game, but I basically was blocking and countering on that fight. Watch. Right here, he's going to swing. I'm going to block this. See, I'm actually going to like kind of, I did a quick block on that attack and then countered. That was my block counter. And right here, I'm about to do another one. Right, boom, block. Now this was a different type of block. This is like a shield block into. Yeah, that was like a shield block into a shield attack or something. But hey, what's up, Roger? How you doing? Yes. Yes, what happened was my wife was having severe angina attack. And so she was having severe chest pain. And she has angina, which is, I don't really know how to explain angina, but she has problems with her blood flow in her blood vessels. And sometimes if she gets stressed, different things cause her to have severe like pain. And it scares her because she's already had 2 heart attacks. So anytime she has chest pain, she kind of can panic and have panic attacks, and she can get really scared, and it can be really bad. And so she came into the office yesterday when I was streaming and said she was scared and she was having chest pain. And so I told her, I said, "Do you want me to come in there?" And she goes, "No." She goes, "You just have your phone next to you, and I'll call you." And I said, "Okay." I felt kind of bad. I really wanted to just jump out of Scarlet Monastery, but I knew she was just laying in bed. So I just got out of Scarlet Monastery, and then I logged off, and she was okay once I went to the bedroom, and she finally she fell asleep. And but yeah, it's scary, man. And she has really bad medical issues. My wife does. It's hard. It's harder on her. It's harder on me. But thank you for asking, Roger.
I see you next week. Or maybe not. I see you next week.
And that's just like the really common block attack that does massive damage. When you block and do that attack, it does massive damage. And the funny part was, I execute these blocks really well, but in the feedback, after the beta ended, in the feedback on Steam, you could read the feedback they got. Apparently, a lot of people were complaining about the window for doing the block and then executing your counterattacks. They were complaining that the window was too small and it was too difficult. But if you watch me play, I have no problems whatsoever executing blocks, counters, and parries and all that. I don't have any problem doing it. And I'm not trying to say that I'm great or anything. I'm just saying it's not that difficult, is what I'm trying to say. So I hate it when people who don't understand how the games work complain about them, and then the game makers try to make it easier. And in the end, what they're doing is they're ruining the game because you're making it easier. And so now there's no challenge. There should be some level of skill required to execute certain things in any game. And when you take away the skill element, and it doesn't require skill, then it becomes bland, it becomes easy, and it becomes no fun. So I'm really concerned about some of the changes they're making to Chrono Odyssey with regards to making the game easier. And I think every MMO suffers from this. Every MMO I've ever played, after the MMO was released, has gotten easier at some point. But World of Warcraft did it with Burning Crusade. Once you went to Burning Crusade, the elite mobs at the end of Zone Quest weren't elite anymore. Like if you go into Lakeshire in TBC and you go to the end of some of the quest chains and they take you over to kill those orcs aren't elite anymore. But in vanilla, they're elite. So in vanilla, it's much more difficult to do that. And you're more likely to get a group, which is good because anything that promotes group play in an MMO is a good thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is actually Chrono Odyssey. This is a game that's currently in development, probably going to be coming out. I believe this game should. This game should be done. It should be released either at the end of this year or sometime next year. Yeah. Yeah, Blizzard's 1-button rotations. Can you believe that shit? But this was me playing the Chrono Odyssey beta that they did. I'm playing the swordsman or woman, and this was from 1 year ago, basically, almost 1 year ago, June 21st, 2025. I can't believe a year has passed since I played the Chrono Odyssey beta. Right? You can hear me clicking all the time, and that's because one of the things they needed to fix that was that looting stuff off the ground was really difficult. Like you had to spam the loot key like over and over again to loot because it wouldn't just like loot all the time. That was something that I'm hoping I'm sure they fixed it by now.
Rough day at the office.
Do you constantly hear me click the click 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 where I'm trying to loot stuff? Click 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 click. Because the looting was very buggy in this beta. Well, big dude. There's the block. Dodge. This guy's tough. This guy's tough. That guy was pretty tough. I had to switch to sword and shield, and in Chrono Odyssey you have 2 weapon setups. So here I'm doing dual swords is my 1 weapon setup. Then my other weapon setup is the sword and shield. What are you talking? Are you talking about Chrono Odyssey, the housing system? Which housing system are you talking about? I never got into any kind of housing system in Chrono Odyssey, so I'm hoping you're not talking about that.
Let's see.
Oh, you're talking about retail? Well, oh, their housing system. Yeah, retail's. Yeah, the housing system was clearly made in a way to make them money. Like even like the inventory, even like the housing. One of the first complaints with the housing system in retail WoW is you fill up like you have a certain amount of inventory to store the items that you can use for your housing system, but the amount of you just don't have enough room, so you will fill up your basically housing inventory very very quickly, which a lot of people complain about, and that's just like inexcusable in my opinion. Yeah, retail's totally cooked. It's garbage. I wonder if there's. Let's see if we can find like a big fight. Is there any boss fights? Oh, dude, I just
Oh, bye bye.
watch me knock this guy. There he goes.
Oh, bye bye.
There-
Wow, that had to hurt.
Like that had to hurt. I guess I'm trying to debate whether I want to jump off. You have a lot of air control in this game. So what I mean by that is when you like fall off the cliff here, as you're falling, you can move while you're in the air a little bit. So there's a lot of air control. Unlike games like WoW, or most MMOs don't have this. So you could actually jump off and move around in the air. Just you don't really see it there, but you do have it. It's pretty interesting. Like I'm being overly cautious here. You don't really take that much damage from falling, I don't think. We'll see. That was a pretty good jump. Oof. See, there was the dual swords have a block mechanic too. And so you can see here, I'm using sword and shield, but I'm going to switch to the dual sword. Right here, I switch to my dual swords. I go with my quick, like, cross cut or whatever. And then I immediately, I think he hits me. I don't think I blocked that one. But here I put up my block, and of course once you block, you have a certain amount of time to counter. And so there's the block counter. And there's the block again. I don't think I performed that counter right though. I would say it's not difficult at all. It's not like Elden Ring or anything like that. The difficulty is pretty low. I don't think it's a pretty low difficulty, but there's world bosses. Like these are easy mobs, right? These are just like easy mobs. But if you get like multiple mobs on you, you can die pretty quick. And I cranked up some music here. But there's like lots of world bosses that you can fight, and they're much more difficult. So there's like dragons and like scorpions and stuff, and if you fight those by yourself, those are very difficult. And here you can see your character screen. There's my name, River, class swordsman. Not in a guild. Weapons, dual blades, sword, shield, great sword. I'm currently equipped. Yeah, this is what my character looks like, armor-wise. I was only level 10 here. You're going to see that air control I was talking about here in a second. Right here, see I'm turning in the air and stuff? Here comes a crosscut. Right there. That is a perfectly executed counter. This is what a perfectly executed counter looks like. See here, I'm going to switch to the dual blades, and I'm going to execute a really cool counter here. He's getting ready to swing, and I'm going to block and then immediately counter. Right there. See how fast it is? It's a very quick maneuver. So if you haven't played the game, you'll have no idea what's going on. But it's fun when it works in the game, and it's a small window. So that one is one of the more difficult ones to do. But it's super fun. Yeah, I tried to do it there, but he didn't swing. Yeah, there's magic classes in the game. I don't remember. I have played this. Like I said, I played this almost a year ago, so I'm pretty sure there are. The game should be good. I mean, I liked the game in the state it was in. I had a blast playing it, and there's a lot of people that actually had a blast playing it. What's the main website for Chrono Odyssey? What's the main website? There it is. So this is Chrono Odyssey's main website. It's interesting because even though it's Cacao Games, right, which is pretty much everybody will universally tell you that Cacao Games is kind of a shady developer, the studio is called Chrono Studios. So this is the studio that makes this game is, they're not really, they're pretty cool. They're a pretty good studio. Like they're working very hard to make changes to the game that are good. But let's take a look at, is there like, see if we can get the classes. Man, I think it'd be how hard can it be to find out how many classes, what type of classes are in the game? Odyssey, developers notes. These are all the stuff they're working on, the changes, which there's a lot of them. Man, where's it? Man, their website sucks. Chrono Odyssey classes. Okay, so classes in Chrono site, there's the Swordsman, which is the one you saw me playing. It was a versatile melee class, adept at balancing attack and defense. There's the Ranger. There's the Paladin, durable tank support with healing capabilities and crowd control. There's the Berserker, powerful melee bruiser, excelling in sustained high-risk combat. There's the Sorcerer, mage class focused on AoE damage and supportive magic. And then there's the Assassin. So, yeah, so there's really only one caster currently, which is really surprising. But having said that, I do think some of the weapons that people use might have some, maybe or maybe not. Yeah, so it's just the one caster, just the sorcerer. And unfortunately, Chrono Odyssey does not have the Holy Trinity. So, well, one of the things that I love the most about Chrono Odyssey is the art style. I mean, the art style is very like kind of gothic or like freaking Chronicles of Riddick, man. Like it's got a really neat art style. I mean, it's very high fantasy with this kind of gothic-y looking thing here. I mean, look, it's very kind of it's kind of grim dark. I mean, look at this shit. You know, you have some areas that look very high fantasy, but you have some areas that look, look at this enemy. You know, look at these enemies. They're kind of creepy. It looks like Elden Ring almost, like Elden Ring type enemies. Look at this. So, pretty cool. So, yeah, I do like the art style. What was it? Yeah, Grimdark's cool. I love Grimdark. A little block. Ting. Well, he nailed me. He just want to attack. I'm like trying to block, but he want to attack. Now you can look here. I was very low on health, so the game is not as easy as it appears. It looks like it's easy, like I'm just rolling through these mobs, but when they hit you, they do damage. This isn't like World of Warcraft. Like, did you see how much, like, my bar is going down? Like, my health bar is going down, right? Like, if you rewind this a little bit. Here, if you watch my health bar here. Like, went down, got hit. He hit me again. Like, he hit me multiple times. I've got a bleed effect on me. That's why my health keeps dropping right now. Yeah, I think, well, the thing is, here's the thing, Strafe, is this was from a year ago. After this, right? Check this out. After this, they did all these developer notes, right? They did developer notes end of closed beta part 1. These two developer notes are just the changes they're going to make based on the feedback from closed beta, which is what I was playing. Look at this, dude. Look at this. This is all the changes. Like, animations, because so we want to thank everyone who joined the closed beta. Like, we're excited to see how many of you enjoyed, blah blah blah. To that end, we're carefully reviewing all the feedback. Some of it will be addressed here in part 1, while the rest is being reviewed and covered in detail in part 2. This is all the changes they're talking about making just after the closed beta. Hit feedback consistency, class weapons, camera, controls, GPU rendering, memory usage, collision data, rendering efficiency. Look at all this stuff, right? And that was just that one. That was developer 1. And then in the second one, developer notes, end of closed beta part 2. As continuation of part 1, this follow-up developer note will cover additional areas we're actively working to improve. What we'll be addressing are combat systems, content, open world. Look at this. Input responsive, controller, keyboard, mouse, feedback, hit feedback, damage feedback, skill synergies, skill descriptions. So they are making massive changes. Difficulty. Players encountered sharp difficulty spikes when entering certain content too early. Again, this is the kind of stuff I don't like to see. People crying that the game's too hard. Well, okay, yeah, it's hard. Guess what? Because you are expecting the game to hold you by your hand. You're expecting that if you fight a mob that's 3 or 4 levels above you, that for some reason you can kill him and it's easy. Well, no, that's not the way it works. The mob's higher level, he's stronger, right? Lack of guidance on recommended level or clear progression paths causing players to give up. This is true. This is a real thing. So that's okay. The game's nonlinear design contributes to uneven difficulty jumps. Again, this is true, but it's like this is just like it's like fire, right? It's like if you go to the stove in the kitchen and there's a flame and you put your finger in the flame and it hurts. Do you put your finger in the flame a second time? No, you don't. This is the same thing. Okay, I went up to a certain area of the map and it was too difficult and I died. Okay, guess what? Don't go there until you're stronger. Hello, right? But anyways, what I'm trying to get at here is that was just at the end of the beta, and then look at Developers Notes 3. And you can see they're making changes to lighting, they're making changes to rendering optimization, they're making changes to equipment rendering, hitbox precision, lock on cam. Now some of the stuff like I'm not happy with. Like I'm not a fan of lock on cam, like locking on. I think cameras should always be not locked. I just don't like lock on cameras. I don't know why you would ever want that. So, but what I'm getting at is they're making a massive amount of changes to Chrono Odyssey, and we hope that, I hope anyway, that they're mostly good changes and not bad changes. Yeah. Well, it's not just that. The problem, Strafe, the Chrono Odyssey leads you to a boss encounter very early, and if you go into that boss encounter where Chrono Odyssey kind of naturally leads you to, it will be too difficult. So that's their fault. So this is one of those rare instances where it's not the player's fault. It actually is It actually is what's the name of the studio? It's Chrono Studios. It's actually Chrono Studios' fault. They kind of screwed the game up a little bit in the beginning, where they kind of lead you into the first boss fight. You can do it, but it's really difficult. So most people, they can't do it. But I mean, anybody who's played MMOs knows that, okay, so I tried to do the boss fight and I can't kill him. So what's the alternative? Oh, maybe go level. Maybe go explore other parts of the world. Level up, kill some monsters, do some quests. When you're stronger, come back, try again. That's the normal, intelligent person's response to that. I don't go and tattletale on the game, be like, oh my god, the game's too difficult. It's not too difficult. Just go level up a little bit, come back and kill the boss. What's so hard about that? That's the kind of shit that pisses me off, man. Yeah. I gotta go to bed though. I maybe, but I'll catch you guys later, man. I'm gonna go to bed. So peace out, guys. Hope you guys have it going. Thanks for stopping by as always, man.